Hello, welcome. Do you dream of building up a massive bankroll, playing the highest stakes and never having to deposit ever again? Making a good side income or full-time income from poker? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can achieve this dream using the power of bankroll management. Whether you've deposited a small sum of money, won a small amount in a free roll, or even if you have absolutely zero money in your account, you can use bankroll management to grow your bankroll fast and safe, move up the stakes, and never have to deposit ever again. So, your balance is zero, you've just busted your roll again, or perhaps you've just deposited $100 and you want this to be the last money you ever deposit into a poker site. Or maybe you've just won $100 in a free roll and you want to make sure to make the most out of it. How are you going to grow this money as fast as possible, not go broke and end up in a situation where you can earn good money from poker? You may have been in this situation before, but you always end up going busto at some point. Let's fix that. Let's talk about bankroll management. Poker has ups and downs, as I'm sure you've realised by this point. And no matter how much of a good poker player you will always encounter downswings. Bankroll management entails having certain rules as to which stakes you will allow yourself to play based on your current bankroll level. Say you are a cash game player and you decide to play with a 25 buy-in rule. The lowest stakes on most sites is 1 cent, 2 cent. So, to play 1 cent, 2 cent, you would need to have a bankroll of 25 buy-ins, which is $50. If you have less than $50 and play 1 cent, 2 cent, your chances of busting your roll are pretty high, even if you're a winning player. So, if you have less than $50, start by playing free rolls until you have your $50. Once you have $50, you play 1 cent, 2 cent until you have 25 buy-ins for the next level, which on most sites is 2 cent, 4 cent. So you would start playing 2 cent, 4 cent once your bankroll hit $100. If you run poorly at 1 cent, 2 cent and your bankroll drops to say $25, you may want to drop to playing free rolls once again. At 2 cent, 4 cent, you can grow your roll quicker, but you can also lose it quicker. So it is of paramount importance that if your bankroll drops to $50 again, you move down to 1 cent, 2 cent once again. It does not matter if you're crushing the games but running bad. What matters is cushioning the fall, not busting your bankroll, and not having to start all over again from scratch. You can keep moving up and down in this fashion all the way up the stakes. The higher stakes you get to, the less and less your chances of busting your roll, so long as you follow the system. However, if you do not move down when you're supposed to, you can lose weeks or even months of hard work in one session. This is by far the most common reason people give up on their poker dreams. It is a matter of self-discipline and mental toughness, not strategic poker skill. If you're a tournament player, then the bankroll strategy is the same, but because tournaments have so much more variance than cash games, your bankroll will naturally swing more up and down. Therefore, a 25 buy-in rule for tournaments would have far too high of a risk of ruin. You can instead opt for a 100 buy-in rule. So, if you have a $100 bankroll, then the highest stake you should play is $1 tournaments. And then once you have $200, you can play $2 tournaments, and so on. Just remember to always move down if your bankroll hits 100 buy-ins for the level below. Good bankroll management will reduce your risk exposure during downswings and maximise your upward potential during an upswing. That said, the buy-in rule which you set is personal to your situation. The larger the buy-in rule you choose, the longer the journey up through the stakes, but the lower the chance of you going bust. I play primarily tournaments and use a 1000 buy-in rule, which is very conservative. I am happy, however, to play the stakes I currently play. I'm not seeking to aggressively move up stakes, and this is my main source of income, so to bust my roll would damage my ability to earn money. While you're at the lower stakes, you may wish to use an aggressive buy-in rule such as 20 buy-ins in cash games or 50 buy-ins in tournaments. This will expedite your rise through the stakes. There will be a slightly higher risk of ruin, but you may not be so devastated if the loss is $50 rather than if it's thousands of dollars. Once your roll is large enough to play more meaningful stakes, such as 100NL or 200NL, you can then adopt a more conservative strategy of, say, 50 buy-ins at cash games. Some do's and don'ts. Don't be tempted to withdraw and spend your bankroll. Similar to long-term investing, it is very, very important to let your bankroll work for you. Let it grow. It can be tempting to withdraw some of your bankroll, but if you do, your dreams of playing higher stakes and making good money will be cut short. There is a compounding effect to bankroll building over time. Early on in the journey, it is easy to get discouraged. You may feel like you're putting in an immense amount of effort and winning peanuts, or even losing. It can be very frustrating. Try to remember that this is a process. Treat it like a video game where you're trying to level up, and the money will follow in the future. While you are playing 1 cent, 2 cent, you will not be making large amounts of money. But the important thing is that you're winning. You're beating the stakes. If you can win $1 every 1,000 hands at 1 cent, 2 cent, you can likely win at least $20 every 1,000 hands at 50 cent $1 with the same level of skill. The players are slightly better higher up, but not too much, and the rake reduces in relative terms as you rise through the stakes. Not to mention the fact that as you move up the stakes, your poker playing talents will hopefully be growing as well. The important thing is to keep grinding. Take the micros seriously, even though the money may seem like peanuts. Treat it like a video game where you're trying to move up through the levels and the money will follow. And a final don't try to just bink a big tournament. This is a good way to go busto quick. You may as well just play the lottery. One way of turbocharging your bankroll growth if you're a tournament player is through selling action. GG Poker has a tremendous feature where you can crowdsource funding for your tournament buy-ins. You can sell as much as 90% and reduce your financial exposure significantly. You can charge a markup if you like as well. And remember that 100% of the rakeback goes to the player, even if you sell 90% of the action. Using this feature, you can play higher stakes than your bankroll would typically allow. Say you have a bankroll of $100 and are using a 100 buy-in rule. You can play $1 tournaments. But if you sell 90% of your buy-in, then you can have the same financial exposure, but play a $10 tournament. You can play $10 tournaments with a bankroll of only $100. You only receive 10% of the cashes, but you can charge a markup and you can receive much more rate back than you would have done in the $1 tournaments. America's Card Room also currently offers this feature, and you can also sell action at sites like Stake Kings, as well as to other people within the poker community. Another way to speed up the journey is through maximising rakeback and bonus deals. If you're playing 1 cent, 2 cent, it may seem insignificant whether you have 10% or 50% rakeback, but this is certainly not the case. Let's assume you play 1 cent, 2 cent with a win rate of 5 BB per 100 and there is rake of 10 BB per 100. You make $1 every 1,000 hands at the tables. If you have rakeback of 10%, this will now be $1.20 every 1,000 hands you play. If you have 50% on the other hand, this shoots up to $2 every 1,000 hands. Even though the 80 cents difference is not a large amount of money, in the context of growing your roll from $50 to $100, so as you can play 2 cent, 4 cent, it is absolutely massive. You cut your time playing at 1 cent, 2 cent almost in half. Another thing which should be considered are leaderboard races. If you enjoy grinding hard, then finding good leaderboard races will help you greatly. Sometimes you can end up with well over 100% rakeback through a combination of rakeback, deposit bonuses, and leaderboard prizes. And the last way to speed up your rise through the stakes is, of course, improving your game. The higher your BB per 100 or ROI, the faster your bankroll will grow and the less variance there will be along the journey. I offer a free coaching service in the VIP Grinders Discord server, so please feel free to come and ask any and all questions you might have with regards building a bankroll, or indeed anything you like. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Good luck on your bankroll building journey. With a little dedication, self-discipline and a little bit of know-how, I'm sure you can easily achieve your poker dreams.